Hello. As you may have seen from either Twitter or Yammer, I am doing a run-up to a Global Accessibility Awareness Day, covering some bits of technology and assistive technology that I use personally, and also some other hints and tips from around the community. So this short video today is going to be on iOS Smart Invert, and that is a very useful tool that I use on a day-to-day basis on my iOS devices. I'm going to demonstrate it on an iPad, but I also use it on my work iPhone 6 and my personal iPhone XS Max, or iPhone XS Max, whichever way you decide to flip the coin. So in this video / demonstration, I'm just going to briefly drop into Smart Invert in iOS. So Smart Invert on iOS is cleverer than the old classic Invert. Whether anyone is familiar with Invert or not, basically for me why it's useful is pretty much it turns an iOS device into dark mode. So I am registered blind, however I do have some vision. Not everyone who's registered blind or considered severely sight impaired is blind, which is obviously a conception that does exist in society. But with that, I can still see some things on the screen. And with that, contrast is a big thing for me. And in terms of contrast, in terms of how contrast is used, white and white spaces can cause significant strain on my eye, and can cause significant discomfort. So being able to reduce the white point and also being able to flip into dark mode, if you like, and placing white text on black background or some other colours that you'll see in the demonstration will show you that. So we are going to briefly jump into OneNote, which is an application I use to write notes for work purposes. So inside this app, I'm going to open it in classic invert colours, and you can see how it looks normally. There are just some notes on the screen now showing you what it would look like with normal colour. I'm now going to use the 3-tap accessibility button to change it to Smart Invert. I have a few options in this accessibility shortcut window, which I will go into a bit more detail in some of the other videos that I plan to do. And now you can see OneNote in its inverted glory, if you like, which makes it a lot easier for me to read and makes it a lot easier for me to spend longer periods of time typing away or taking notes in meetings or on calls, etc. Also, I'm going to show you what it looks like on YouTube, and what makes this smart, quote unquote, use my hands for quotations. What I love about Smart Invert is that when you use a website or a video app that does support it, you will get your dark theme or your inverted colours as you intend, but you will also be able still to watch videos not inverted. So sometimes with classic invert, your videos and stuff, colours could be thrown off completely out of sync and look potentially a little bit daft, or just not look at the correct colour spectrum. But Smart Invert gets rid of that and enables you to watch videos how they are intended, or even on websites on Safari or Google Chrome or whatever your preferred browser is. Images will hopefully still look the same and feel the same as far as that goes, and that's why I do like Smart Invert, is it allows me that colour depth and colour gamut that works for me, but at the same time also allows real media consumption, real media content that I'm going to consume on the iPad or my iPhones to still be how it was created and how it was intended. Hopefully that has given you guys a short insight into Smart Invert. I do love it. It's a cool feature that was introduced in iOS 11. That is when Apple kind of improved what they had. So Apple have always been good at accessibility, but with iOS 11 they kind of just got a little bit better. So there was a few things that came with that, including magnifier. Rather than just using the camera, you could use the magnifier, which again I'll go into more detail about in a future video. But as I say, so for Smart Invert, one of my favourites, one of my top of the list ones that I always recommend to people with low vision. If you want to follow along with my Global Accessibility Awareness Day, you can do on Twitter. So I'm at MartinRalph_GDS. So come along, and thanks for watching.